Okay, so welcome to the second step of the security, and we'll be looking at port security. For this particular project, I would want to turn off the ports which are not active. I'll just turn them off. So let me start with the configuration. Now I'm turning them off because for a switch, right, they have their interfaces on by default. So if anyone just plugs in their PC, it will turn on. But since devices are already in VLAN, it will be hard for them to get an IP. Yeah. But let's turn it off and be on the safer side. Okay, so we are in. So this switch has three and four ports. So I'm going to shut them all down and then shut the ones we are needing back on. If it's 0/1 to 24 int range, sorry, int range f 0/1 to 24 shut down. Okay, so you can see from here it's all red, right? It's all red. The interfaces are down. Let me show that to you. You know what? The color already indicates that. So let's start with admin. Now, admin has its range to be FA 0/1 to 3, right? Now we access port security, so switch mode access, switch ports security, right? Now we've turned it on, we need to set rules. We'll tell it that okay, now that you are on, only accept one MAC address, just one MAC address. So switch port security maximum one, right? Now we've told it to have a MAC address to only accept one MAC address. We can input the MAC address manually, but that would be a hassle. So we can also tell it to you, just learn the MAC address connected to you, then it's going to learn it. So let's try that one. That's the best. That's for me, that's the one I'll use. Typing a MAC address manually, you can make mistakes yourself. Security MAC address sticky. Sticky is a command we'll be using. It will learn the PC connected, right? Now we need to set some punishment. What happens if a device that's not the correct, what happens to a different device that connects to the switch? What should happen, right? Now I'm going to tell it to shut down. If any other device apart from the ones you've learned connect, just shut down, right? So switch port, port security, violation, shut down. Right. So we are done with admin. Just have to repeat the same for the others. But we need to turn that interface back on. So no shuts down since we switched everything off earlier. Now we move on to sales. Now let's check sales CLB. Sales will definitely be 5, 6, and 7. Repeat the whole process. Let me just 5, 6, 7. Switch put access. I hope you understand this part because I'm just repeating the codes, the commands we used, repeating them again. Go back to sticky, then the punishment, then we are done. So let me turn it back on. We do same for IT. IT would be 9, 10, and 11. Repeat the same process again. Okay, so with that, we are done for all the departments. Now let's move to the server. Remember, we shut the server tree down. Server is 24. No shutdown. We didn't do anything to the server. Okay, now everyone is online. Okay, so you saved it. See, you shut the server down, so it takes some time for it to recalibrate. Okay. Should do that automatically. Okay, so now we'll use a rogue PC, a rogue device, anyone that's not connected to the internet. Now let's bring other devices. So with that, we are done with port security. But let me bring the rogue device, then we'll check. Okay, so we have PC1. Okay, so now they were able to get the IP address from the DHCP server. That was what I was waiting for. So right now their MAC addresses have been linked. Let's try the interface FA0/1, right? So let's delete this cable. Let's delete. Okay, so I delete this one. Mhm. Pick another cable. One. Take it to the rogue device. Get it to DHCP. See if we'll get an IP. It failed. It even shut down. You can see that it turned red. It even shut down. Now let's bring back the original admin PC. This clearly shows our port security configuration was successful because we put a root device in it. It saw the MAC address. It realized, hey, this is not what I've learned, and then it punished it. The punishment we gave was shut down that interface, and it just did that. Now, the limitations with Cisco Packet Tracer is um, for a real world switch, we can set a timer that if it detects a different MAC address and then it shuts down, after some time, probably 30 seconds or 1 minute, it should restart the port. It should, since the port has been shut down, it should turn it back on and check if the correct uh, PC is in. If it matches with the MAC address it learned. But with Cisco packages, we can't do that. That's the downside of it. It's limited in a way. We'd have to shut it down manually and let it learn again. So that's too bad. So just delete it then. Okay, so I delete it and put it back. You see, it's still because it shut it down. Cisco packet tracer will not restart after a period of time. You would have to tell it to you restart. So we go int fa0 sorry, no shut down. Then it'll bring it up again. Let me shut it down first. Change. Okay, so it's now in the app state. This video is taking longer than I predicted. So you can see it's now back. Let's give it some time to pick up an IP address. It's taking so long. Well, let me just force it. And it's successful again. So what we did in this video was we set the port security. We set up port security. We made it learn the MAC addresses. We brought in a rogue device. The rogue device was punished, right? But Cisco packet tracer has its limitations, so we'd have to um, shut the port down and turn it back on again for us to recognize that, oh, this is the right MAC address I was told to save. So with that we are done with port security and obviously the entire project. Thank you all for I mean staying with me, watching through it also. But with the next project that I'll bring up, I wouldn't really go through step by step like IP configuration. Uh, I'll just zoom through it, then we'll get to more complex and fun stuffs, OSPF, stuff like that. So, thank you. Thank you.